I used to believe that the office was the safest place in my life. Predictable, structured, professional. You show up, do your job, go home. Nothing more, nothing less. At least, that's what I thought. Until the day a woman named Claire walked in and quietly began dismantling everything I had worked for. I didn't recognize it at first. Sometimes betrayal doesn't announce itself with shouting or obvious cruelty. It shows up as a smile, a compliment, a soft voice that hides a knife behind its back. Claire was exactly that type of person. Charming on the outside, poisonous on the inside. I had been at the company for 3 years, long enough to earn respect, but not long enough to feel untouchable. My department was competitive. Promotions didn't come from simply working hard. They came from visibility, politics, and whether the right people whispered your name in the right meetings. I wasn't the loudest person in the room, but I delivered. I finished every project early. I fixed things no one else noticed. I helped people even when I didn't have to. My performance reviews were flawless. A promotion to team lead was finally on the horizon. And that's when Claire joined. She was new, inexperienced, and surprisingly, overly friendly with me. She complimented my outfits. She asked me how things worked around the office. She even brought me coffee one morning with a sweet handwritten note. "Thank you for helping me adjust." I never expected that the same woman would later orchestrate a plan to replace me. It started slowly, a missing file here, a miscommunicated deadline there. Nothing big enough to raise suspicion, but enough to make me look disorganized. I didn't realize someone else was moving the pieces. I assumed I was just overwhelmed. Then came the email incident. One morning, my boss, Daniel, called me into his office. His expression was stern. "Did you send this?" he asked, turning his monitor toward me. It was an email supposedly from me, criticizing a colleague, calling them incompetent, and questioning the company's direction. It was rude, immature, and completely out of character. I felt cold. "No, I never wrote that," I said. But the email came from my account. I didn't know how, but someone had accessed it. Later, I discovered how simple it was. Claire had once asked to borrow my laptop charger at my desk while I was in a meeting, just enough time to forward my login session to her device. It wasn't a coincidence. Still, I didn't have proof. And Daniel didn't reprimand me harshly, but the seed of doubt was planted. The timing was perfect, too, performance review season. Then the missing presentation happened. I had put together a 30-slide deck for a major client. It was polished, data-heavy, and took me 2 straight weeks. On the morning of the presentation, the file was gone. Deleted entirely. No backup, no trace in cloud history. We had to present a half-finished version. Daniel's disappointment was clear. The clients were confused. I looked careless. And through the entire meeting, Claire sat in the corner with a faint smile on her face. That's when I realized the truth. Someone wasn't sabotaging my work. Someone was sabotaging me. But I didn't react. I didn't accuse her. I didn't even flinch. Because unlike Claire, I don't fight dirty. I fight quietly. And quietly is far more dangerous. I needed evidence, real, undeniable proof. So I started watching Claire had a habit of staying late, something that surprised everyone because she pretended to struggle with basic tasks. One evening, I returned to the office after forgetting my notebook at my desk. The office was dark, except for one glow: Claire's screen. She wasn't working on her tasks. She was digging through files. Specifically, my files. She didn't notice me standing behind a row of cubicles. Her headphones were in, her screen zoomed in on my project folders, and one by one, she copied documents onto a USB drive I didn't interrupt. I simply took out my phone and recorded everything. Then I left without her ever noticing I was there. The next day, I went through her social media. She had recently posted vague quotes like, "Some people don't deserve what they have. When opportunity appears, take it before someone else does." She thought she was clever. I continued waiting. 2 days later, the company announced that the team lead position was officially being evaluated, and anyone interested could submit a leadership proposal. Claire suddenly became extremely ambitious. She asked me odd questions like, "What do you think Daniel wants in a leader? How do you structure your projects again? Do you think I'd be considered for the role?" I gave her nothing, no advice, no direction, only polite, empty responses. Because at this point, she wasn't just trying to sabotage my career, she was trying to steal it. The final trigger came the following Monday. Daniel pulled me aside again. "Claire submitted a proposal," he said, "and parts of it look familiar, almost identical to your long-term roadmap presentations." I stayed silent. He continued, "I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want your input." That was it. My moment. I simply said, "I think you should see something." I handed him a USB drive. Inside the folder were all the recordings I had gathered. Claire deleting my presentation, Claire accessing my email, Claire copying project files, Claire downloading documents at 10:58 p.m. Everything was time-stamped. Clear. Indisputable. Daniel's eyes widened more with each clip. He leaned back, shock overwhelming his expression. "I had no idea." I nodded. "I know. She wanted my job. But destroying my work wasn't enough for her. She tried to destroy my reputation, too." There was no anger in my voice, just calm truth. Daniel thanked me and asked me not to say anything to anyone until HR reviewed everything. I agreed. But Claire didn't stay quiet for long. Later that afternoon, she stopped by my desk with a falsely sympathetic smile. "Rough week, huh?" she said. "If you ever need help organizing your tasks, I'm here." She was taunting me. I almost laughed. The next morning, Claire arrived looking unusually confident. She strutted through the office like she already owned the place. Minutes later, HR called her in. Her confidence evaporated instantly. The meeting lasted an hour. I didn't hear the details, but I didn't need to. Because at 10:14 a.m., Claire walked out of the office with her bag, her water bottle, and a cardboard box filled with the belongings from her desk. She didn't look at anyone. She didn't say goodbye. She disappeared. The office was silent. People whispered. They watched me, trying to guess how much I knew. But I said nothing. A week later, Daniel asked to see me again. He apologized first. Something rare for him. He said he regretted doubting my professionalism. He explained that HR found even more evidence of misconduct on Claire's devices. Then he said something I'll never forget. "You've shown patience, integrity, and resilience, and you deserve recognition for it. The promotion is yours." I walked out of that office feeling more relief than excitement, because for the first time in months, I could breathe again. Not because Claire was gone, but because I never lost myself while she tried to rip everything away. Revenge doesn't always mean doing something cruel. Sometimes revenge is simply letting someone's own actions bury them. Claire didn't lose her job because of me. She lost it because she tried to take mine, and all I did was let the truth speak louder than her lies.